Bueno, estamos acá con Kate Keller, perdón. Kate Keller es ciudadana norteamericana. Estamos acá en el centro de detención, en la cárcel de Missoula, Montana, en una manifestación pública donde familias norteamericanas están rechazando la política migratoria de Trump. Kate, ¿qué está pasando en Estados Unidos y por qué estas manifestaciones se están dando por todo el país?
In English?
In English, in Spanish, what do you want?
Okay, better in English.
Yeah, okay.
This particular manifestation has been organized by an organization that has been resisting Trump since the very beginning of his occupation, we'll say, of the White House. And right now, I think what we're looking at basically with the immigration policy is pretty much the same thing that is sort of plaguing all of the policies of the United States. We're looking at a sort of xenophobic, neoliberal model of the world that is working to concentrate power and money in the hands of the few. And right now, with the oppression of all people of color in the United States, we're seeing that these policies are becoming more and more abhorrent.
Yeah, but ¿cuál fue exactamente el cambio? ¿Cuál es el problema con esto de la separación de familias que está posicionado en los medios? What was the change in the Trump migrant policies? Because right now we understand that many families are separated. So what happened with this separation of families? What is the problem?
I mean, what it really amounts to is a very racist and very brutal crackdown on and xenophobic crackdown on immigrants trying to arrive here mostly from the South. And what we have, what we're faced with basically is a group of people who practically have no souls. We've not. This is a lot of these policies are not entirely new. We're not looking at something that's entirely new, but we are looking at an iteration of a policy that is extremely racist, extremely xenophobic, and very outspoken, and it's rallying the fear of people that are Trump supporters.
And why do you decide to take actions to this policy of migrants? Why take action in U.S. against this policy?
I've worked in human rights for a very long time. I see this as a very clear human rights issue, regardless. The separation of children is just one step farther towards the brutality that can't be tolerated in this country. But we see it every day. We see it in the treatment of migrant workers on a daily basis. We see it in ICE's actions, randomly detaining people for speaking Spanish. We see people targeted for being brown people. It's the separation of families is the children from their families is just the final straw that kind of has brought people together. But we're watching a wave of racism and a wave of xenophobia that needs to have a voice that says, no, that's not who we are, that's not what we represent, we won't stand for it. And literally over our dead bodies will this happen in the United States. So there has to be enough pushing back from the population so that this is not the message that's getting out to the rest of the world. This is not who we are.
Yeah. So, Kate nos da un mensaje importante, nos dice que esta política migratoria no es nueva, que es una política basada en el racismo y que este último paso de separación de las familias es un paso más en esta política de conservadora que Trump representa, que efectivamente está basada en principios como el racismo o como el rechazo a la migración. Kate nos dice también que ella está convencida de que el trabajo por los derechos humanos es un trabajo importante en los Estados Unidos y que lleva parte de su vida haciéndolo porque quiere mostrar una cara distinta de lo que es Estados Unidos. Estados Unidos no es esta apuesta por separar familias o por crear escenarios que vayan en contra de los pueblos, de los niños, de las familias. Kate, pero tú sientes que más familias están movilizadas en este momento en Estados Unidos. Do you feel that more families right now are more in movement, you know, in US to against Trump?
I do. I absolutely do, and I think I want to believe also. This is I have been cynical in the past about the ability of United States citizens to mobilize, and I do feel though that the election of Trump did congeal the resistance to these kinds of policies and started making people do some serious soul searching about who they are and what they want to represent and really what's on the line if we don't start to examine our role in the world and the resources that we consume and the kinds of ways that the United States has, directed its imperialism throughout the rest of the world. So I feel like the message is slow to sink in, but I do feel like the mobilization since Trump has been elected has really raised consciousness.
Okay. Kate nos dice que efectivamente desde que Trump llegó a la presidencia, la movilización de ciudadanos norteamericanos que están entendiendo que es muy importante tomar mejores decisiones y cambiar el país es una situación permanente y que efectivamente con Trump se ha logrado mucha más movilización, permanente movilización. So, Kate, thank you very much for your words para Somos una América Viayala. Thank you for fight too, because this is an important fight for our people in Latin America. Es una importante lucha para nosotros como latinoamericanos porque son millones de hermanos mexicanos, centroamericanos que cruzan la frontera día tras día. So thank you for this too, because you help to do a better world. So,
gracias a ti por estar acá.
Gracias, Kate. So, seguimos acá transmitiendo en vivo en esta manifestación en el centro penitenciario de Missoula, Montana, donde cientos de familias de norteamericanos están rechazando esta política de separación de niños y de familias que la nueva política de Trump está generando en este país de los Estados Unidos de América. Para Somos una Viayala